It's your boy Banger Etuk, aka Banger the Menace, aka Nigerian Hot Boy, and you are here with another episode of Teacup with Etuk. Better late than never, and my apologies for the delay. It will not happen again. This week's topic, we will cover something titled A Delicacy Named Jealousy. Per usual, I will break my topics down into 3 little paragraphs. And I want y'all to, if it relates more to you, if it relates less to you, feel free to give some insight, because we all live separate lives. We also experience different forms of jealousy from other people. So let me know in the comments, in the DMs, however you feel most comfortable expressing these things. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. My 3 topics that spoke the loudest to me are a jealous friend, a jealous spouse, and overall jealousy from a stranger. We all think we are too loyal for jealous friends, but you honestly never know who thinks what of you. A friend or a foe, how will you know? When you see something that's just not right to you, or you feel like something has just not been, addressed properly, or you feel like someone's throwing shade at you, don't just let it slide. Because the motherfucker will start ice skating on you, and once you confront somebody maybe the 5th or 6th time that happened, you're not taken seriously because you've let me walk all over you these other times. So why do you have an attitude about it now? Whether you are naturally blessed from your personality or from your hard work ethic or whatever brings that special light to you, or you have received a blessing from a upcoming endeavor or a future endeavor with a spotlight on you. A lot of people really do not like that. Let me not say a lot, some people do not care to share the spotlight with others, even if they are not doing anything spotlight worthy. It's just to be singled out and that single person not be them. It upsets them. They're not mad at the person, they're mad at the position. That's a new thing I've been saying. So, things that an envious person will do, things that an envious friend will do, consist of, but not limited to, semi and microaggression toward you, isolation from you, allowing narratives to bypass he or she without confirming or denying anything on your behalf, downplaying your wins, exaggerating your losses, and then mainly crying wolf for attention to diminish the spotlight, from you and from others. Imagine celebrating a major improvement on a credit score. Imagine getting a new apartment. Imagine improving your pay, your weekly pay at your job, and it leads you to a vehicle that you've always wanted, or to a house you've always wanted, for something you've been working very hard toward. Things become so consistent on behalf of your improvement, you decide to share this on Facebook or on Twitter or with a friend in your messages. Your dear friend decides to remind everyone, and yourself especially, of where you once were, struggling, or maybe taking out a loan to help ends meet, or maybe having to DoorDash, or maybe having to do Uber Eats. Things get hard for people sometimes, and you will go with what you know to naturally make ends meet. And no, I am not promoting prostitution, but I'm just simply saying that people have to pay their bills. The refusal to see growth out of jealousy is a very real thing. We were all not raised to be happy for others, but those very same people would cheer in times of turmoil. How ironic. You didn't learn to be happy for others, but along the line, you somehow learned to be spiteful. Shout out to the Day One family. Siri, play Day Ones by Banger Etuk. Just a bit of what I'm talking about wrapped up into an entire 3-minute melody. A jealous spouse. Have you ever had a jealous spouse? If so, how did you deal with it? And if you've never had a jealous spouse, how would you react? How would you go about even, confronting them, coming to them professionally or maturely, or however it needs to be done in the moment? A jealous spouse is much worse than a jealous friend, not only because they know your secrets, but if you cannot trust the soul that you intertwine yourself with, then who can you trust? To have a place of despise for someone who is vulnerable to you in every aspect isn't even a fair matchup. Should never be a matchup. Pillow talking is the most common form of betrayal, and it also gives off jealous vibes to me, in my opinion, because it's always with someone who looks up to you. People will always pillow talk in your business to somebody who's not on the same level as you. People typically deal with your partner or whoever that person may be because they know they're your partner. Oh, let me go and chill with this person because I know you date this person and it's gonna make you mad. Or I know I can't get you, so let me just get in where I can fit in, which is supplying you with medicinals or supplying you with weed or money or drink or whatever it may be. People know exactly what they be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, people know exactly what they be doing. Like on Baby Boy, when Jody was going to cheat, but he decided not to cheat because he seen what it would do and how it would make the workplace toxic. That's where I'm going with it. You can never be too sure. Not only is it always with someone who looks up to you, but it's always a fan-ass man or a fan-ass hoe. Someone who initially was extremely fond of you, extremely praiseful, and now the switches have, just completely reversed. So it gives this a whole new level of demise and hate. Another common jealousy point, in my opinion, for spouses is pay. Black women are paid more than black men statistically and realistically. I specifically said black men because it is my surroundings. I am a black man, and those are that's the knowledge that I know and that I've studied. My apologies to my non-melanated individuals. You can definitely take this knowledge and make it apply to your own community because I'm certain y'all have these same barrier issues when it comes to whether it's gender or, you know what I'm trying to say. A lot of men cannot stomach being paid less than a woman, so it brings tension home with them daily. Often persuading a woman to quit, to find another job, or to completely just stay home and not have any income at all, rather than to be overpowered with a lower pay. Anything but to get paid more than me, not me, specifically, but them, A man would rather build a woman himself so he knows just exactly how to break her down when it's time to. Being with a financially powerful woman, men automatically think you are to be submissive. You do not necessarily have to be submissive to a financially powerful woman if she's aware that she has that power and she does not abuse it. A lot of people have power trip issues and they do use that money over people's head, and they specifically only date poor people to make themselves always feel in charge, And I've seen that scenario quite a few times where rich women date, poor men, or rich men date poor women, because that sense of control keeps them grounded. To be able to completely, have a person lackluster if they don't even have a few dollars for a coffee in the morning or a bag of chips on the way home from work, Like, to each his own. I won't knock anyone who lives the lifestyle because not everyone who lives the lifestyle is living it, drastically. Not everyone is struggling. Some people does not want for a single thing in this world. They are given what they're needed before they even run out of what they asked for a few months ago or a few years ago. And that's how it should be. But I shouldn't have to go through turmoil per se just to prove that I need just a few dollars. Or I personally don't feel like I would have to ask. I should have to ask because we already have this agreement. You already know I'm not working. You already know you are the breadwinner. Why are you sending me to the store with no money? Not that I wouldn't be trying to get my own money in some form of way, but this is not about a bank of Etuk. I'm speaking to all 17 of the people that don't watch it. Not just playing. So that's how I feel about that personally. A partnership can become a job that does not pay, and not everyone is a humanitarian. So guess where that will lead that relationship to go? Today's men in my age group specifically expect to be multimillionaires at 23 and to be these multi-avenue moguls, and not realizing shit takes time. Not only does shit takes time, shit takes money. How are you going to be a billionaire and you are currently struggling? Not saying it's not possible, so let me reiterate. You must have something to invest in yourself to have an investment in the future. Money's not just gonna pop up. I mean, if it did, would we really need a job? Honestly. People specifically do not like to be patient. You know, you have to put in the work. You have to go to work. You have to go to school. Or you don't necessarily have to go to school to get money, but you have to see it through if you're going to get an education. All 4 of those years, or all 8 of those years, or all 12 of those years. However, you have to obtain that. You cannot wake up and expect it to be there or to be gotten. You have to go get it. Don't stress yourself out. Don't beat yourself up because you don't feel like you can support your woman or support your woman and your child or just your child. Because you are, you know, for one, it takes a village. It took a village to raise a child back in the 50s. It took a child to raise a village. It took a village to raise a child back in the 60s and the 70s, and it does in 2021. One job is not honestly cutting it for many people here in Houston, Texas, where I live. People are working 2 and 3 jobs just to live in a $700, $800 apartment. I don't make the rules. It takes time to live lavishly and effortlessly support an entire family. Now, I'm not saying make her split the bills with you 50-50, but as a man, you have to be extremely smart. Specifically as a black man, you have to be extremely smart with your money, especially if you have others to support, because one mistake cannot just be recovered from so easily because you're already dabbling into next 2 weeks' pay, or you're dabbling into next month's emergency rainy day fund, because it's just a downfall, the domino effect. A mistake puts a landslide in between us and the finish line, and it takes longer to recover from as black people, especially credit-wise. Our credit scores are dropped down 100 and 150 points or 60 to 100 points over a small infraction. But I won't specifically pinpoint others, but others are only dropped 5 to 10 points, even if they are dropped at all. If they miss a credit card payment, or if they get a collection agency added to their account. So you just have to be, theoretically aware and, educated and prepared, because a mistake is not just a mistake. One mistake can really ruin a lot of things. My third and final topic is an overall jealousy from a stranger. A coworker, a classmate, a social media follower, a friend of a friend, anyone who's not in your daily. The pandemic has put such a strain on people that people have been housebound for not only 1 year, but maybe 2 years, with less and less contact each day with others. Emotions have been heightened and has increased the projection of insecurities onto other people. Seeing people live and succeed does not impress everyone, as I said initially. They are not mad at you. They are mad at what you are doing. They're mad that it is not them. Between the people filing for their PPP loans and the people receiving their child tax credit, there's people cracking jokes telling them they're broke. Oh, this is going to happen to you. Oh, that should happen to you. Just spewing all type of hate. Because, of course, who would not like a few $100s or a few $1,000s for the moment? But it's not our place to judge people how they get their money. My educated people will read the room. I'm not promoting anything, as I said, but you will get it how you live. Can't even get a few dollars without folks hating on you and shit, trying to take your shit from you. Like, the robbery level here in Houston has increased like 5 times the robbery rate that was just the last 2 years. People have genuinely been taking things from other people, not because they need it, but because they want it. Weaker personalities typically link up to feel secure, and they always find someone to look down on as a group. Mad bitches link up. Mad bitches link up. Most times it's not even about the money anymore. A nice smile and respect for yourself and a few morals that you got from your parents can really grind some people's gears. People do not like for someone to feel like they just have all their shit together, especially when they're all over the place. Now that's another form of jealousy. A person can really just hate how you act like you have it just so pulled together because they don't know composure or they don't know self-control or self-awareness. So they lash out on other people who do. Lives have been taken for less, so I personally don't give anyone the benefit of a doubt. I always trust the person as far as I can throw them and never let them know my financial status, even if we're the closest of friends. Because I could let you know that what I have in my account. Next thing you know, you start finding ways to get into my account. Or you start telling people, not even you per se could be out to get me, but you can tell someone in conversation, oh, well, a banker said he had this much in his account. And that person will be like, okay. Then that person could tell the next person. And not everybody will believe it, or not everybody want to just, hear about it. They want to see it for themselves. That can lead to robberies. That can lead to many things that it is not even need to go to. So that's why I'm just like, as close friends, I still like to keep my financial status. I still like to keep my address offline. I still like to not flaunt everything that I have in my closet and, much more. Because it's just not worth it in the end. This week's video will be a tad shorter due to, me trying to actually improve on my setup. I'm trying to commercialize myself. I've been building a little backdrop in the living room and with my little kitchen table that I rarely ever eat at. So that can be like my judge table that I can sit at and give my verdicts. I'm decorating for Halloween, so my next video, I'll definitely show you my Halloween decorations. I'm definitely getting a pumpkin. My next door neighbor has like lights and fuzzy shit up right now, so I want to just return the energy to let them know they have a friendly neighbor. But yes, as I've discussed the 3 video topics, I've broken them down: a jealous friend, a jealous spouse, and overall jealousy from a stranger. If you have any topics that you would like to add into this, if you have any more segments circling around jealousy that you've experienced that you feel like was not highlighted, and you would like to just simply tell a story about how you've experienced jealousy at high school or at work or at the store or on the street, because it happens in the everyday living. And some people brush that shit off. Some people get it worse than others. I would love to hear your story. I won't tell you mine every single time I get online because it's not the same. I want to hear your gossip. With love, peace, and hair grease, it's your boy Abanga Etuk, aka Banga the Menace, aka Nigerian Hot Boy, and we are tuning out for the week. Thank you so much. A delicacy named jealousy. Please be aware and be prepared.